Welcome to Investing on the Dollar. Today's presentation will be on how to get started investing in Bitcoin. And when I first started, it pretty much went tutorials. There was a step-by-step thing, and it explained kind of how it went all the way through and through. So this is a way to get you going, and hopefully we can get going pretty quick here, get you inside Bitcoin. First things first, let's check out my computer security video first. It goes through the basics of what you need to do. Make sure your laptop or your desktop or workstation or whatever you're using is at least in order, so you don't have to worry about what will happen to it if somebody gets in, breaks in. It's just basic security thing. So nothing really bad or hard to do. Next thing is, use an account not tied to your day-to-day accounts. The reason I say this is because most of the time people use accounts that are tied to their day-to-days, and for some reason, if something does happen, you could be tied. Your primary account could be tied up. So what I've done is create another account, have another account that's totally separate from the day-to-day account. You can still use your primary account, but like I said, I personally just like to separate those accounts because it's not the same monies, and I just like that. Next thing is, be prepared to offer a picture with identification. The reason for this is Coinbase has a real bank associated with it, and since the Patriot Act, they require you to know your customer. So they may require you to provide some identification, state ID, federal ID, some kind of ID that provides them with some way to create you an account, just like creating a bank account. That doesn't mean you have to use it as a bank account. We'll go through those scenarios, but for now, just make sure you have some ID. Be prepared to offer it. Alright, some things to know. It is a bank, so it requires, like I said, because of the Patriot Act, so you will need some ID. However, number two, you do not have to link a bank account to this Coinbase account that will provide your way into the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency era. So you do not have to link an account. There are multiple ways to put money into the account, but this is one of the ways to jettison that money into it. It's one of the most secure ways to do it. 3, there are other means of putting cash into Bitcoin that doesn't require you to do any of the above actions. Again, I can go over those. Leave some questions in the comment. That'll help me let me know where you are as potential people following along to see how you can put it in. I just never thought about it before. I always use Coinbase. It seems the most legitimate way to put it in. So, alright, so let's go over some of the ways you can do it. And this is the first way I'm going to go over the ways you can do it first, and then I'm going to make some screenshots on my account of what I did to put it in. For the time, because this is time crunch, I used screenshots, but it's the same no matter whether I'm using screenshots or not. Okay, so the first thing is bank transfer, ACH transfer, just doing a bank-to-bank transfer. So you'll put some money in your account. That account will then have an account number associated with it, and all you do is transfer that money from one bank to the next. Once it's transferred in USD, US dollars, you can then purchase Bitcoin at that time. That's pretty simple. The thing is that the pitfalls of this is they're usually free. Most banks don't charge for that. Not even Coinbase charge for it once you get the money into their account. But they're super slow. So expect a 5 business days to 9 business days if they're a holiday. I got 9 is the most I've ever gotten. Because a holiday fell on a Thursday, I put it in on a Monday, so 9 days. Weekends are not included. Business days are Monday through Friday. Credit card. You can do credit card. It's actually it's one of the faster ways to put it in again. They do charge a 6% minimum. I think that's about, and that's pretty much flexible. It also depends on what your credit card charges as well. But Coinbase does charge you a 6% minimum. So they are fast. It's usually 1 or 2 days compared to the ACH transfer. It's just a lot quicker. Again, this is business days, so don't forget, you put it in on Friday, the Saturday, Sunday come around, those days do not count. Next thing is wire transfer. Now this is pretty fast, super fast. They charge 10 to 20, depends on your bank really. because like I said, it's a wire transfer from one bank to the next. You have to consider Coinbase as a bank, and this depends on, like I say, your bank. What do they charge for a wire transfer? And they may charge by how much you put in. They may charge as a flat rate. My bank, one of my banks, charges a flat rate, depending on, it doesn't matter. You send $1 million, then you charge that same flat rate, which is pretty cool. So you check from bank to bank, find out what it is. Again, usually your bank doesn't even matter, and even Coinbase provides all the information that the banks need to do bank-to-bank transfer. And it usually takes from 1 hour to 2 days. I had it happen in 2 days because Coinbase at some point was checking accounts to make sure accounts were not erroneous. There was no craziness going with other accounts that were trying to invest, and you won't know that at the time, but they usually post a notice prior to you doing that. The other thing is, like I said, they just limit you because they don't trust you, pretty much. They don't trust anybody putting money into that account. So they do follow banking laws pretty close. Another thing is even better than, like I said, you don't have to link an account to it. Bitcoin ATM. Now this is pretty cool. Now if you do a Bitcoin ATM, you go to the ATM, you put money into it just like a teller, and they charge about 20% for every dollar you put in there. I think it's a minimum of $20 on some of the ones I've seen around here in this state, but like I say, it varies state to state. It varies from machine to machine, but all you need is a cryptocurrency address to point the money towards. So you could sit there and you could just shell in up to a certain amount of money. I think Coinbase regulates you down to your initial account for $7,500 for initial input. So you could just shell away for $7,500 in cash, and nobody would know where that account came from. So like I said, besides Coinbase, like I said, it depends on the ATM. They're extremely fast. It usually goes from 30 minutes to 2 hours, and they very little IDs required usually on the side of the ATM itself. Usually it just wants a phone number to confirm or email, and that's it. And usually that's it. It sends you your account. So Bitcoin ATM is the fastest by far. Now here's the pitfalls. Triple check your account number. Most of the time I tell people it's copy and paste. Anytime you see that long account number, it's about I forget how long it is, but it could be up to 20 digits. Last thing you need to do is try to copy 20 digits in. The thing about Bitcoin is once it gets into the into cryptocurrency world, if you get that number wrong, it's gone. There is nobody to complain to. You can't go back and reverse the transaction. Copy and paste it. Make it easy. All right, wherever you can, copy and paste. Other thing is to use two-factor authentication for security. You'll see it usually on Coinbase. What it does is it uses something that you know and that the bank does not know. So it uses like your cell phone and a computer. So a code that you know, and the bank will generate a number that you shouldn't know at any one time, and it's randomly generated. Boom, check your phone, here's your account number. What number did it show up? And then, so if somebody stole your account, they'd have to have two pieces of information, not just your computer, but they also have to have your cell phone. And that's just off the top of my head. That's just one way to do two-factor authentication. Turn it on. Trust me, you'll want to, especially if you're putting money in. 3, make a backup copies of your security codes. Now, they make a QR code that's available for you. So if something your account gets hacked, you want to get your money back, and Coinbase has to come back and say, hey, well, I want to make sure this is such and such. How are we going to do that? Well, the way to do it is make sure you got your QR code backed up. You got your security number names backed up, and they'll do it. Number 4 is, I can't emphasize this more than anything else, don't share your codes with anyone. That is your money. It's direct account. It's a direct link into your account. Now, if you do share it with somebody, be wary that they will be into your account, and there's nothing you can do. All right, let's set up a Coinbase account. We're going to take some screenshots here. First thing to do is you follow a link in my description. It'll shoot you to this landing page on Coinbase. Notice it says invest on the bottom left, highlighted in blue. Makes it pretty simple. And upper right, just click sign up. Create your account, first name, last name, really simple. And notice that on top of the two-factor authentication, they use CAPTCHA, so that way And usually when you log in, captures on most of the cryptocurrency websites. You want to see that. It keeps a bot for trying to get into your account and, like I say, hacking it. Wow. Okay, so this is your landing page as soon as you get your account open up. So this is your dashboard. You'll notice that you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. These are the coins that you can purchase once you get your USD into here. Now, when you first create your Coinbase account, I highly recommend creating this first, because you want to know where to send your money to. So again, you can use your primary account, like I said, but I recommend using a secondary account if you have one, and placing your money in that and then transferring to Coinbase. It's a lot simpler and a lot safer, I think. The time I did this is the Bitcoin price is 12,860. By the end of the day, it was almost 14,000. So you can see Bitcoin is just shooting up astronomically, and like I said, it just shows how much it gained this month, the percentage, and what it is. So it gets a really simple landing page. Next thing you see is you click on the buy sell button. That'll take you to bank account. Now, I chose Bitcoin because it's simpler. You can purchase Ethereum and Litecoin as well. If you haven't purchased these before, you're not sure what you're doing, Bitcoin is the safest one. I have a video on that as well, so you might want to check that out. Again, notice the bank account, very large. We talked about this, the very large investments. Usually takes 4 to 5 days. Lies, never seen it go forward faster than 4 days. Never, not once. You can put it in a Monday, it's probably going to be there by Friday at the earliest. Okay, so I don't care what bank it is, that's usually what it is. And they charge no fees. That's what's great about the bank account. It's a large input. Second, debit account, MasterCard, small investments. Like I say, it's a quick. We want to put quick money in there. Small investment in was like $7,500 to $10,000. So yeah, that's still high. Wire transfer, like I say, large amounts. I did that for a big amount one time, and I haven't done it since. I think maybe twice, and it didn't cost me that much. I think it was $14 from a bank, but it just depends, like I say, on your bank, and it's one of the faster ways to put it in. Now, notice that you'll have a pull down for it. So I have that once you get your bank account linked to it, notice mine went from 7,500 to 10,000, and that's because once they start to see that you can put consistent in deposits, they'll increase your limit. They'll have a link on the right where it allows you to increase the limits. But again, it depends on how many times you make a deposit in. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be $50, $100. Once they validate that your account from your bank account to the Coinbase account your checks don't, the ACH doesn't bounce, you always have money in account, it just makes it a lot more smoother. They trust your account activity more and more. On the right hand side, it'll show you payment method. You enter the amount, and this right here, this is just purchasing the BTC once you get the money in there. And on the upper right on the top, it'll tell you what BTC you have available. Learn the acronyms. BTC stands for Bitcoin, Ethereum ETH, Litecoin LTC. So on the upper right hand side, you notice that I highlighted on the upper left Bitcoin. It automatically shows you then BTC, Bitcoin. Now, the next screen is a confirmation screen. I won't show it here, but you get the idea. You just say next and click so. Are you sure? Yes. You just click yes. It's pretty simple. Now you completed the Coinbase account and you completed a transaction for Bitcoin, all in one. Now remember, just a tidbit, you don't have to do this, but you know, it helps me to grow the channel more, and I would like to grow it more, deliver more content to all the users that I have. I really appreciate everything that everybody does. I get when you first started, you didn't have anything. So here's a tidbit. If you use my referral link that I showed you earlier, investing on $1, at the bottom of my description, it will give you $10 if you make an initial investment of $100, and it will give me $10. I'm going to take the $10 and just do it like you do, invest it. Most likely, I'll invest in something that you might be interested in. And if I make money off it, you follow my journey, like I said, and that could be your journey as well. But so have the description in the link. Get some free cash. All right, let's review. Set up your bank account. If you want to set up a secondary bank account, set it up. 2, set up a Coinbase account. Once you set it up, it's going to take a few days to get you going there. 3, make backup copies of all your Coinbase Access account. Store them somewhere that's very private. And then let's see here, 4. Choose your method of deposit. Now we talked about the different methods of deposits: credit card, Bitcoin ATM, wire transfer, and and remember, 5. Remember, depending on the deposit method you use, you'll have to wait. So you go Bitcoin ATM, that's 30 minutes to 2 hours. So it's pretty fast. Wire transfer is not 2 hours. So don't panic. It will be 5 to 9 days, depending on if there's a holiday in between and how long that holiday is. You got a holiday that's like 7 days long. Well, yeah, you're gonna wait that 5 business days easy, no matter what. Hey, that's it. Thank you for investing in $1 and coming to invest in $1, and happy investing.
Yeah.